What should we think about gold as an investment? So this is one of the great debates, and gold has been around for literally thousands of years. It was in Tutankhamun's tomb. And so gold has a long track record, far longer than any currency in use today. So for that reason, a lot of people feel like gold is the ultimate currency, that it is the ultimate permanent currency. And unlike, say, the US dollar, where the government has a printing press, right, and they can devalue the value of a dollar and cause inflation, gold is permanent, and it's very difficult to mine new gold, and as a result, the gold supply, it grows only very slowly over time. So those are the two sides of the debate. On the one hand, those are the two sides of the debate. On the one hand, gold feels permanent. On the other hand, the US dollar is backed by the full faith and credit of the US government, right, as the expression goes. And so how should you think about it? In my view, gold is interesting, but it isn't necessarily an investment. And what it comes down to is a concept known as intrinsic value. Intrinsic value means that an asset is productive. So if you own a stock, that company is generating profits, could pay dividends. If you own a bond, it pays interest. Even cash in the bank generates interest. If you own an apartment, say a rental property, that generates rent. Gold doesn't produce anything, and as a result, they say it has no intrinsic value. And that to me is the key. Because it has no intrinsic value, it could be worth only what the next person is willing to pay for it. On the other hand, if you have a stock or a bond or a piece of real estate, it's anchored to the profits that the investment can generate. And as a result, the value is more tangible and will be less volatile. And so that's why we see the price of gold bounce around so much.